It's a little after 7 o'clock. I've got some time, and here on a Saturday morning, and wanted to put out a video because it's time. Up until this time, there's things that have been percolating. My life has still been, I've been learning something, and it's time. It's now time because I've got it, I think, or I'm at a point where I can talk about it and explain it clearly, and hopefully make a difference out there for somebody. I'm learning about my story and how important it is, and the things that I go through create my story, and that my story is not for me. My story is for someone else who might be going through who might be getting ready to go through, or just starting a journey that I've already passed through. That might be an inspiration, to them, and might give them the strength and the courage to move on and to go where they need to go. So it's important for us to share our stories because, again, your story is not for you. It's for someone else. And that's what I'm learning. And so last night, I was sitting with a group of friends from our church. We have what's called a Connect group. Sorry. And we get to a point where we talk about, the service from a week or two ago, depending on what group I'm with, because they only meet every other week. And the group I was with last night is my every other week group on Friday nights. And we were talking about a guest speaker that we had a couple weeks ago and the impact of his sermon on our lives. There was a young lady who was there. It's actually the daughter of the host family who just recently moved back home. And she was sharing some things about her life. And one of the things that she said was, she was saying, how big is your God? And she gave two examples of things where her God was pretty big. One was something that I'm kind of going through, in a way going through, and she was talking about when she graduated, when she was in her senior year, there was one school that she wanted to go to, and it was very expensive. Her family didn't have the money, and she said, God, I believe that you will make a way, and I'm going to go to that particular school. I don't know how, but that's my goal. There is no plan B. And her mom and dad would talk to her, and they'd say, look, seriously, we don't have the money. What's your backup plan? And she said, there is no plan B. Well, long story short, God provided a way. She went to that school, full scholarship, and things worked out very well for her. Another thing that she had shared, which again is another testimony as to what I'm going through. She was sharing the family was getting ready to take a vacation. And mom and dad had talked about the vacation, and they said, look, we can either go to San Diego or we can go to Disneyland. Those are the choices. That's what we can afford to do as a family. Well, this particular daughter said, I'm going to go to Disneyland and I'm going to Hawaii. They were like, wait a minute. Hawaii wasn't on the list. We don't have money to go to Hawaii. And she said, I don't care. I'm going to Hawaii this summer. That's what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but that's my vision. That's my vision. How big is your God? That's how big mine is. 2 weeks later, she was working, babysitting actually. And the people she was babysitting for came to her and said, we're getting ready to go to Hawaii, and we'd like to take you with us on our trip, and we'd like you to be the nanny for our kids. Is that something? Then we'll pay for everything. You just come along and watch the kids. Is that okay? Is that something you'd be willing to do? She said, absolutely. Well, you can imagine the excitement she had when she went home and told her mom and dad, guess what? I'm going to Hawaii. All expenses paid, and you don't have to pay for anything. Now, how big is your God? How big is your vision? Really, really spoke to me. Because I'm going through, I guess in a way, some similar things as I kind of mentioned. My son is a senior this year in school, and he really wants to go to a particular college. That particular college happens to be TCU. I don't know why it's TCU. It just is TCU. That's his clear number one choice. And he's been accepted to many schools. He does very well scholastically. He has the grades. I'm sure at this point in time, to my knowledge, he has not yet been accepted to TCU. But I know that he's turned in his application and done all the requirements now and just recently got it sent in. So I'm sure he'll be hearing from them, and probably within the next little while we'll know. But I'm sure he will be accepted to TCU. As a father, there's nothing more that I want for him than for him to be able to achieve his goal and go to TCU. But I'll be upfront and honest with you. I cannot afford TCU. Can't. It's a private school. It's a lot of money. And I'm not one who really believes in going in, that kids should go into so much debt going to school. I just don't believe that. I don't. Sorry. But how big is my God? And how big is my vision? And how far can I trust him? Well, I'm making the public statement now. I believe that my son can go to that school. I believe he'll get some sort of a scholarship. I don't know how it's going to work. I just believe that it can happen. I believe that it will happen. And I look forward to the day that I can come back in another video and I can say he's been accepted. And then in the next several videos, I'm going to say, and it might be right before school starts, most likely, I don't know. But I'm going to be able to come back and say, remember when? And I'll give God the credit, because it's the only way that it's going to work is through him. And it's going to be a great story to tell. That's how big my God is. That's what I believe is going to happen. So, here's kind of the key. I was listening to somebody else speak this morning, a lady by the name of Lisa Nichols. And you might want to find her on YouTube. She's incredible. She's awesome. And I was listening to her speak, and she was saying something to the effect of, her grandmother told her that, when she's gets to be a grandma and when she gets to be in the twilight years of her life, it's her job to sit around and tell stories of her life and the lessons to the younger generation. But it's the responsibility of children or parents or people. I'm 50 years old, so it's my responsibility right now to make sure that the stories, that I have some stories to tell, and that the stories are good stories. And in order for stories to be really good stories, man, I got to live my life every day. I've got to push myself outside of the envelope and go to places that I'm uncomfortable in going. And like this school story is going to be a really cool story one of these days. And then I have there's a dream that my daughter has that I wish I could give her, and I hope I can give her, but you know what? I know I can give it to her. I'm going to find a way to give it to her, because I've asked God for it. And now I'm going to watch him work. And I'm going to know there will be a day when I say, this is it. Her dream has come true, her vision. Her God is pretty big. My God is pretty big. So, it's like the children of Israel when they're coming out and they got the Red Sea in front of them and there's no other way to go, and the army's coming to, take them back into captivity. There is no way. But God parts the Red Sea and they walk through it on dry land. I don't know how. I don't know. It'll probably be at the last minute, because that's when God really shows who he is. Because that's when we know we can't do it on our own. There is no other way. So I'm excited to see him work. I'm excited to tell you of the story that he does and how he completes things. And it's going to be a fabulously wild, incredible story that you'll know only he could do it. So that's something to look forward to and to follow me for, if for no other reason, just to hear that, because it will be great. Let's see. A lot of other things going on. I'm real excited to say, and you know, I'm about 10 minutes into this video right now. Maybe I'll hold off, and I've got a little time to make a couple videos this weekend, so I think I'll do that. I think I'll wait. My next video, I know basically what it's going to be. It's a little further continuation of this, and where I am, and just what I've really been going through lately. And my mindset's in a totally different place. It's taken me some time to lay the groundwork, but it's a little story about a man who had a vision. A guy named Nehemiah. And in between now and that video, you might want to read Nehemiah in the Bible. It's about a man with a vision to build a wall. And I don't know. There's some similarities between he and I, and I'm real excited to tell you the story because big things are about to happen. You might want to be a part of it. So, talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day. Make it great, because it's how you respond to things, regardless of what's happening. It's your response to it that really makes it. It's your attitude that makes your day. And lastly, like my buddy Mark, which one of these days you're going to meet, like my buddy Mark always says, when you got something good, you just got to share it. So if you like this, share it. If you happen to like this, hit the little like button. That would be cool. I like seeing that. So leave me a comment. Let me know. You know, I need a little boost every once in a while. It's just helpful and good to see. But I appreciate y'all, and hope this has been good for you. Oh, by the way, one other thing I want to know. Tell me one of your stories. How big is your God? What are you going through? What are you believing for? Make it an exciting story that we can share. You and me, all right? Thanks. See ya.